Alright, so magandang araw sa lahat sa inyo. So let's start our lecture for chapter 5, collective bargaining. Okay? So good day everyone. Today we will discuss chapter 5, collective bargaining, which is a fundamental concept in labor relations and industrial relations. Collective bargaining is one of the most important mechanisms through which workers and employers establish fair employment conditions. It is not only a negotiation process, okay? Always remember that, but also a legal and institutional framework that promotes workplace democracy, fairness, and of course industrial peace. In this session, we will explore the meaning, principles, procedures, and legal requirements of collective bargaining under the Labor Code of the Philippines. So always listen to this, guys, okay? Including certification elections and of course the negotiation process. By the end of this discussion, you should clearly understand how collective bargaining operates in real workplaces and why it remains very essential in protecting the workers' rights and of course balancing the management authority or yung tinatawag nating management prerogative. Okay? Let's start. So, our objectives before we proceed. Okay? Let us look at the learning objectives. By the end of this chapter, you should be able to first, of course, define collective bargaining and understand its core purpose in labor relations. Second, identify the procedural steps involved in collective bargaining under the Philippine labor law. Third, compare individual bargaining with collective bargaining, highlighting their advantages and, of course, their limitations. Fourth, determine negotiation techniques in and issues commonly encountered in the bargaining processes. As HRs, yan talaga yung mga dapat nating alamin. Katulad ng pinag-usapan natin last week. Of course, panlima, explain the petition for certification election in which determines the exclusive bargaining agent of the employees. And lastly, recognize the strengths and advantages of collective bargaining in promoting fair employment practices. These objectives ensure that you gain both conceptual understanding and practical legal knowledge relevant to workplace negotiations. Okay, let's start. Okay, collective bargaining refers to the process by which employees acting collectively through their union negotiate with their employer regarding the terms and conditions of the employment. Always remember that. Okay? This process only occurs, okay, when workers are recognized into legitimate labor union that is recognized by the management as the representatives of the employees. The union negotiates on behalf of all members rather than individual negotiating separately. The purpose of the collective bargaining is to reach agreements on wages, benefits, working hours, safety conditions, job security, and other employment matters. In essence, guys, collective bargaining balances the unequal power relationship between employer and employee. Binabalanse niya talaga yung employer at sa employee by allowing workers to negotiate as a unified group rather than isolated individuals. So, come to think of it, guys, no? Kung titingnan nyo na mabuti, ang hirap nga naman makipag-negotiate kung nag-iisa ka lang. Okay? Bre mo, ikaw, lakad ka, pupunta ka sa boss mo, boss, kailangan ko ng HMO, kailangan ko tumaas yung sahod ko, pero nag-iisa ka lang. 'Di ba? Mas mahirap. But when you have the union, merong magre-represent sa inyo bilang isang bargaining unit, yung buong grupo ninyo, may magre-represent sa inyo para, okay, para hilingin or hindi naman i-demand, kumbaga i-negotiate kung ano yung palagay nyo ay nararapat sa inyo. Okay? So, yun yung use talaga ng unions natin. Okay. Views on collective bargaining. Collective bargaining can be viewed from several perspectives. Primarily, it is a tool used by trade unions to improve employment conditions such as wages, working hours, safety, training opportunities, and of course, equal treatment. It is also based on the recognition that employers and of course employees are differing and sometimes conflicting interest. 'Di ba? Siyempre, may conflicting interest talaga yung employer at sa employee. Sa employee gusto niyang kumita ng mas malaki, sa employer gusto rin niya kumita ng mas malaki pero para magawa niya yun kailangan ay pag-negotiate siya. Okay? For example, employers may aim to reduce cost while employees seek higher wages. O, 'di ba? Magkaiba na, conflicting na agad. Collective bargaining serve as the mechanism to reconcile these interests peacefully. Okay? Imbis na magtalo, yung collective bargaining, ito yung kumbaga nagne-negotiate kayo at magkaroon kayo ng gitna. Okay? Another important view is that collective bargaining promotes industrial peace. When workers feel heard, na parang kumbaga pakiramdam nila naririnig sila, and protected through negotiations, labor disputes, and strikes are less likely. Okay? Kapag pakiramdam ng isang manggagawa or ng isang grupo ng mga manggagawa na sila ay naririnig, pinakikinggan, at binibigyan ng pagkakataon upang makapagsalita at makipag-negotiate, yung mga strikes na naririnig ninyo is of course less likely kasi nga nagkakaintindihan. Okay? Finally, collective bargaining is sometimes called social partnership. Bakit? Because it represents cooperation between organized labor and organized management. Institution in shaping, of course, yung workplace policies natin. Okay? Let's talk about individual versus collective bargaining. Kanina ito example ko, 'di ba? So, this slide compares yung individual bargaining and of course collective bargaining. Individual bargaining occurs when a single employee negotiates directly with the employer regarding the terms of employment. Mag-isa lang siya. Okay? This approach allows personal flexibility and of course independence kasi sarili mo lang pinaglalaban mo dyan eh. However, it is often suffers from unequal power because the employer usually holds stronger bargaining authority. Kasi nag-iisa ka lang. At siya yung employer mo. So, meron siyang stronger na bargaining authority kapag nag-iisa ka lang. Okay? In contrast naman, collective bargaining involves negotiations between management and representatives of the employees. Usually through, of course, the union, yung union. Okay? This approach gives workers greater influence because they act as a group. Kasi isang grupo na sila, di ba? Sabi nga doon sa mga kasabihan na naririnig natin, yung nag-iisang tingteng, madaling maputol. Pero pag nagsama-sama itong mga tingteng na to, ang hirap putulin. Tama, di ba? Parang ganun rin yung concept ng union. Kapag nag-iisa ka lang, mas mataas yung bargaining authority ng mga employers natin. Pero kung marami kayo ang nagkakaisa lahat ng gusto ninyong sabihin, mas malakas at mas mapapakinggan kayo kasi mas tumataas yung bargaining authority ninyo kasi mas marami kayo. Okay? Because you are acting as a group. However, okay? Last, collective bargaining, of course, may limit individual preferences because agreements apply to all employees uniformly. Siyempre, hindi na magiging specialized yung binabargain mo. Halimbawa, kung ikaw mag-isa, gusto ko po may ang sahod ko tumaas ng 100 pesos per year. Pero kapag bargaining na kayo ng maramihan na kayo, hindi na ganoon ang bargaining. Ang binabargain na kapag maramihan is like for example, gusto namin tumaas every 3 years ng 100 pesos every 3 years. Pero lahat 'yon para sa employees. Uniformly nga lang, 'di ba? So in summary, individual bargaining emphasize personal freedom but weaker influence. Okay? While collective bargaining emphasize group strength and protection, pero hindi na siya nako-customize ng para sa iyo kasi para na siya sa lahat. Okay? Let's talk about, of course, advantages of collective bargaining. Okay? Collective bargaining offers several major advantages in the workplace. First, It promotes high performance work environment because labor and management jointly address workplace issues. This collaboration encourages problem solving rather than conflict. Kasi nga dahil magkasama kayong inaayos kung ano yung pangangailangan ninyo, nagfa-foster siya ng mas magandang samahan kasama ang mga empleyado at ang employer. Okay? Kaysa mag-away kayo, nag-uusap na lang kayo. Okay? Second, it creates legally based bilateral relationship between employer and of course the employees. Agreements reached are enforceable under the labor law, providing stability and of course predictability. Kung ano yung napagkasunduan ninyo sa collective bargaining agreement ninyo is executable under the labor law. Okay? Mas nasusunod yun. And third, collective bargaining clarifies management rights through agreements. Both parties understand decision-making, authority, and of course, limitations. Pang-apat, it protects both employer and employees' rights through a binding collective bargaining agreement or yung tinatawag nating CBA or Collective Bargaining Agreement. Wait guys, saglit lang. Inom lang ako. Okay. Finally, multi-year CBAs or collective bargaining agreement allow employers to predict labor costs and budget compensation more effectively. So, importante sa atin yan, HRs. Para mas makikita natin yung budgets natin for the next years. Kasi nga may CBA, makikita nyo kung ano increase, ano yung benefits na ibibigay nyo, hindi yan basta-basta mababago. Okay? Okay, let's go out to the advantages of collective bargaining part 2, kumbaga. Okay? Beyond workplace efficiency and collective bargaining provides broader institutional benefits. Union can become strong allies in protecting employees during economic downturns, such as preventing layoffs and negotiating retaining programs. Collective bargaining also promotes fairness and consistency in employment policies across the organization, reducing discrimination and of course arbitrary decisions by the management. Kasi palagi na kayong may negotiation, palagi na kayong may kausap, hindi basta kung anong gusto na lang ni management, yun lang yung masusunod. Okay? Another important advantage of this employee choice, workers retain the right to choose whether they want to union representation, ensuring democratic participation. Finally, strong labor management partnerships enable workforce development and skills upgrading, which are crucial in adapting to technological changes and of course industry transformation, sorry. So ano nga ba ang duty to bargain collectively? Okay? The duty to bargain collectively is a legal obligation imposed on both employers and of course the labor unions. This duty requires parties to negotiate in good faith. Tandaan nyo good faith. Okay? Meaning they must genuinely attempt to reach an agreement rather than merely pretending to negotiate. Yung parang nagpapatagal-patagal lang kayo, etc. Yan, magkukos pa rin kasi ng strike yan kapag hindi talaga kayo nakikipag-ayos. Okay? Good faith bargaining includes meeting a reasonable times, exchanging proposals, considering counter proposals, and of course avoiding unfair labor practices. Failure to bargain in good faith may constitute unfair labor practice under the labor code, which can lead to of course legal sanctions. Okay? Kasi pwedeng mangyari yan kapag sinasadya lang ng management na hindi makakapagkasundo sa kanila, etc. Nangyayari yan, guys. So therefore, collective bargaining is not optional once the union is of course recognized. It is a mandatory and of course legal duty for both parties na makipag-negotiate. Okay? I hope wala pang questions. Okay? Okay. Let's go to the process of collective bargaining. Okay? So sa nakikita ninyo dyan sa screens ninyo, collective bargaining processes typically follow several stages. It begins with the union presenting claims or demands representing employees' interests. Okay, kung ano yung kagustuhan ng mga empleyado nila. Next, the management presents counter proposals. Yan, trabaho na natin to HR. Kung ano yung pre-propose nila, ika-counter proposal natin yun, reflecting business consideration. Kasi tayo nakakaalam, nalulugi ba tayo, kumikita ba tayo, yan. Kaya ibig sabihin, yung CBA team na bubuuin nyo, hindi lang puro HR, may kasama ring galing sa finance, galing sa accounting, para mas alam natin lahat. Okay? Both parties then enter negotiations where they discuss, modify, and of course reconcile proposals. If the negotiations fail, a third party such as mediation or conciliation may occur to assist the settlement. Yan, pumapasok na dyan si Dole kapag hindi na sila magkasundo. If the agreement is reached, the outcome becomes CBA or collective bargaining agreement, which legally governs the employment terms ng company na yan. This structured process ensures orderly and of course peaceful negotiation rather than industrial conflict. So ano nga ba yung mga procedure? Okay? Ano nga ba yung mga procedure? Okay? The labor code prescribes formal procedures in collective bargaining. First, when the party wishes to negotiate, it must serve a written notice with its proposal. Okay? The receiving party must respond within 10 days. Yun yung unang galaw natin dyan. Second, kaya HRs dapat kahit paano kabisado nyo to. So second, if disagreements arise, either party may request a conference, which should begin within 10 days from the request. Third, the disputes remain unresolved. The Bureau of Labor Relations or yung tinatawag natin BLR may intervene upon the request or its own initiative. Both parties are required to participate actively in the conciliation meetings. These steps ensure a structured and, of course, timely negotiation under the labor code or the law. Okay? Next. Okay. Fourth, during the conciliation proceedings, both parties are, of course, prohibited from actions that may disrupt settlements effort, such as strikes or lockouts unless legally justified. Unless legally justified. Lagay niyo tandaan yan. Fifth, the Bureau of Labor Relations or the BLR must exert effort to achieve amicable settlement and may encourage voluntary arbitration. Okay, nakikialam na si Dolly dito. Kasi hindi magkasundo yung dalawang panig eh. So, voluntary arbitration allows neutral experts to resolve disputes when parties cannot agree. These procedures highlight the Philippine labor law prioritizes peaceful dispute rather than peaceful dispute rather than gulo or resolution before its industrial action. Let's talk about the negotiation techniques. Okay? Kailangan natin to. So ito na yung mga gagawin natin HR. Negotiation is the core activity in collective bargaining. Kapag nakikipag-collective bargain na kayo, negotiation is the core. Yun talaga yan. Makikipag-negotiate talaga kayo. Okay? It involves discussion between disputing parties to reach mutually acceptable solutions. Effective negotiators, understand that bargaining requires mutual adjustment. Each side modifies its position to achieve the agreement. Magbibigayan kayo. Hindi yung sobrang tigas nyo or sobrang tigas nila. Magbibigayan kayo kasi kaya nga siyang tinawag na negotiations, di ba? Okay? Collective bargaining negotiations must be voluntary and conducted in good faith. However, limitations may arise during national economic stabilization policies such as wage controls. Common issues negotiated include wages, benefits, working hours, job security, grievance procedures, and of course the working policies. Successful negotiation requires preparation, data analysis, communication skills, and trust building between both parties. Okay? Lagi niyo tandaan yan. So, pag-usapan natin yung certification election. Okay? Actually, kakagaling ko lang dito sa certification election na to. Yung sa Flash Express, kung familiar kayo, yung kalaban ng JNT. Yan, nagkaroon sila ng certification election. Okay? So, a petition for certification election is a legal process used to determine the sole and exclusive bargaining agent or yung tinatawag na SEBA. Ibig sabihin sila lang yung pwedeng magkaroon man ng dalawang union diyan, sila lang ang pwedeng makipag-negotiate, yung SEBA, yung union na yun, kung sino man yung mananalo sa certification election na 'to, okay? The Department of Labor and Employment conducts certification elections to identify which union has majority support among employees and in appropriate bargaining unit. To file a petition, a union must submit its registration to charter certificate to the Dole Regional Office. The union receiving majority valid votes in the election becomes the SEBA or yung sole and exclusive bargaining agent. Meaning, it alone represents the employees of collective bargaining. Sila lang. This process ensures democratic selection of employees representation. Okay? So, ano ba mga requirements? To file a valid petition for certification election, certain conditions must exist. First, the beginning unit must be unorganized or there must be no existing collective bargaining agreement covering the employees. Dapat wala mo ng CBA. Second, if CBA exists, the petition must be filed within 60 days freedom period before the CBA expires. So kung meron mang CBA, kailangan ang filing nito before ma-expire yung CBA nila, yung collective bargaining agreement nila, 60 days. Third, if another union was previously recognized, the petition must be filed outside 1-year bar rule period following certification or voluntary recognition. Additionally, in organized establishments, the petition must be supported by signatures of at least 25% of employees in the bargaining unit. Okay? Ano pa ba yung mga requirements? In an organized establishment, certification election requires a petition questioning the majority status of the incumbent bargaining agent filed within the freedom period. The period must be verified and supported by at least 25% ng buong employee ng kumpanya na yon. In an unorganized establishment, certification election is automatically conducted once legitimate union files a petition. This distinction ensures fair representation while preventing frequent disruption of the bargaining relationship. Okay? Oh, yun na yata yung yung last slide natin. So kung titingnan nyo ng mabuti, ito ay tungkol lang sa CBA. Maikli lang naman talaga to. At kung titingnan nyo rin, natutunan rin natin ano ba talaga yung ginagawa ni HR dito. Yung nakikipag-negotiate ka, yung mga skills. Okay? I hope there's no questions. I hope there's no questions. Kung may question man, please raise it. So, as we conclude itong ating pinag-uusapan, no, our discussion on collective bargaining, let us reflect on the broader significance of what we have learned today. Magkaroon tayo ng konting review. No? Collective bargaining is more than a legal procedure or a negotiation technique. It is fundamental pillar of industrial democracy. It represents the recognition that workers are not merely factors of production, but human beings with rights, dignity, and legitimate interests that must be respected in the workplace. Through collective bargaining, employees are given a structured and lawful voice in determining the conditions under which they work and live. We have seen that collective bargaining operates through organized representation, good faith negotiation, and legally prescribed procedures. It balances the inherent inequality between employer authority and employee dependence by allowing workers to negotiate collectively rather than individually. In doing so, it transforms potential conflict into constructive dialogue and cooperation. We also learned that collective bargaining contributes to industrial peace. When employees trust their concerns can be heard and addressed through negotiation, the likelihood of disputes, strikes, and workplace instability is significantly reduced. Mas mababa siya. Okay? At the same time, employers benefit from predictability, structured labor relations, and stable workforce. In this sense, collective bargaining is not adversarial by nature. Okay? Hindi naman kasi usually pag narinig natin, union, magulo yan. 'Di ba? Hindi naman. Okay? It is a partnership mechanism that aligns organizational productivity with employee welfare. Another important insight is that collective bargaining is grounded in law. The Labor Code establishes duties, procedures, and safeguards to ensure fairness and legitimacy in the process. Certification elections, freedom periods, conciliation mechanisms, and voluntary arbitration all exist to protect both parties and maintain orderly labor relations. This legal framework ensures that bargaining outcomes are not based on power alone but on rights, representation, and of course, due process. Hanggang dito, hinahabol kayo ng due process. Okay? Ultimately, collective bargaining embodies the principle that the workplace should be governed not only by managerial prerogative, but also by participation and, of course, consent. It is practical expression of social justice in employment relations. Whether you become managers, HR practitioners, labor leaders, or even policymakers, understanding the collective bargaining equips you to promote fairness, compliance, and cooperation in organizations. As future professionals, as future HRs, remember that effective labor relations are not built solely on rules and authority. Di ba matagal ko na sinasabi sa inyo yan? Hindi lang basta libro-libro, hindi lang basta rules and regulations. Okay? They are built on respect, communication, willingness to negotiate in good faith. 'Di ba? Hindi lang palaging libro, may kasamang puso, may kasamang pag-iisip. Collective bargaining remains one of the most effective instruments for achieving these goals. Okay? With that, of course, we conclude our lesson on collective bargaining. Thank you for your attention and engagement throughout the discussion. If you have any questions, reflections, or points of clarification, I will be glad to hear them. Of course, maraming maraming salamat sa inyong lahat sa pakikinig. And I hope marami tayong natutunan. Maraming maraming salamat. God bless everyone.